right, so hello, here with Todd again, and another rabbit hole that he and I have gone down and that comes up in the office a lot is the fact that walking is an underrated exercise. And he was telling me something interesting about soleus muscle that I thought you guys would like to know that I can't exactly put into words. So I know I feel better after I eat just taking a short walk after dinner. And my best friend's grandmother is well into her 80s, and she's always insisted on a walk after dinner. And it's probably her main source of exercise anymore. She's getting along great. So I stand by it. I know that you have a factoid for us about how that might help curb the glucose spike and things like that. So what is this about the soleus muscle?
Yeah, it's even after being in this anatomy phys business all these years, you find out new stuff every day.
Right.
So basically, the soleus muscle is one of the largest muscles in the calf area, and it just
we're talking about here, by the way.
right.
Some of
you
you
got
guys
some
don't know
soul.
that. Yeah.
But it just does not have the ability to store energy like other muscles do.
Okay.
And because of that fact, it has to rely on the level of blood glucose available to help supplement itself if it's being asked to work.
Okay.
Basically.
Such as walking.
Right.
Right.
And so after a meal, since it has that characteristic, that muscle will help regulate your blood glucose level by activating the system that helps drive the glucose and what you've eaten for your meal into the cells so that it can either be stored or used.
Okay.
And so it's the pancreas, the glucagon, and the insulin system. When you get too high of insulin, it says, get it out of the bloodstream. And one of the ways to help get it out of there is to use this muscle.
Gotcha.
And one of the best ways to use the muscle would be to walk.
Right. Right. And you're saying as well that it doesn't take a long walk, like it just takes some walking. What do you know? You have any intel there as far as like?
Absolutely. I think the 20-minute factor is there at a moderate pace.
Sure. Okay.
And that they're also looking at what they're calling soleus push-ups.
Right. Yes. Yeah, we talked about that. That's
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little out there, out there, but it's an option, I guess.
Right. If you don't have the ability to get out and walk, that in a seated position that you could raise and lower the heels off the ground.
It really is that simple. He just instructed me on that a few minutes ago, and I'm like, wait, I'm not doing it right. He's like, you totally are. It's that easy. So just seated with your knees under your heels and raising your heels up. That's literally a soleus push-up that will have the same effect as walking. But we're gonna get out there and walk because it's not
so
too much
more
to
fun.
ask. Yeah. Yeah.
And
all right, so
bring a friend.
Right, exactly. So we can handle walking. So the other thing, a lot of focus on 10,000 steps a day. For a lot of people in the suburbs and with sedentary jobs, it's a concerted effort to get in 10,000 steps. I know for me, as a massage therapist and a yoga teacher, I can stand all day long. That's great. I'm well adapted to that, but I'm not getting steps. So on a regular day, where I work and I go home and I make dinner and I get ready for the next day, things like that. Like I actually have to try to get in 10,000 steps. So for me, that looks like 20 minutes walking in the morning, 20 minutes walking in the evening with the dog, and I still have to get in an hour's worth of walking otherwise. And across all devices that I track steps on, it equates to about 470 calories for me at 5'7", 140 pounds. It's pretty standard, 470 calories-ish, getting 10,000 steps in a day. So it's pretty significant. But my question also was, does that go towards the basal metabolic rate of just the standard, or is that actually cardio, like calories that you're burning?
Well,
extra.
Yeah,
because
basal.
they say that 10,000 is what every human being should be getting.
Right.
It just doesn't happen on most days, though. So
it's funny you mention that because recently I had her a doctor, and don't quote me on exactly which one, but at first it was a marketing ploy for like Fitbit and all those others. There were
Exactly.
like 10,000
Exactly.
steps.
That's where the confusion comes in for me, and I'm
And-
not quite sure. So.
But then science put it to the test, and they were like, it's pretty good, guesstimation
Yeah.
for what a person could use and
Right.
benefit from,
Right.
and expend a decent amount of calories.
Right.
If you look at on top of that, the basal metabolic rate is essentially what it would take for you to lay in bed,
To
breathe,
just stay
and
alive,
blink.
right, and that's what I thought,
Right.
But they say it as though it's like that's the bare minimum that humans should be getting. And if you live in a city and you have to walk to work
Sure.
and walk to the store and you have to do all these things, it's definitely possible. But for a lot of us in the suburbs working
Right.
sedentary jobs, sitting down all day, it's tough. So
Well, and that's why a Fitbit type thing that can remind you to get up and move
yeah,
can help. Maybe even a stand-up desk.
yes,
Uh,
definitely. Those are great. I did some of my semesters of school. That was great.
Just
Definitely
get
good way to get
your
in.
body moving.
Yeah.
And while we were talking, I also wasn't paying attention to the 470 calorie.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take a pound of fat and look at how many calories it's worth 3,500 calories. Well,
Mhm.
if you divide that by 7, then you get about 500 calories a day. That if you manipulate that,
Sure.
decrease. If you maintain your expenditure but don't eat that,
Mm-hmm.
or if your expenditure goes down, you decrease what you eat,
Sure.
and you know that you need to kind of work with that, then you can actually lose a pound of fat
Sure.
each week.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
And,
So that's
if that's a goal of yours.
Exactly,
Or you can prevent yourself from overeating in certain cases,
Right.
or undereating
Right.
in other cases.
Yeah.
So it helps even everything out. Balance is the key.
right.
Your body doesn't like roller coaster rides.
Exactly. So there we have it. We were just trying to sum up that walking is an underrated
Yeah.
exercise, and sometimes you don't have to go balls to the wall every day with CrossFit, or not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that walking is hey, it's fine.
If you're so
Don't come
inclined.
after me. Don't come after me. But no, it's walking is definitely good enough on most days. So.
Bring a friend, even if it's a
Make it a
four-legged
social
one.
thing. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, if it weren't for Draco, I probably wouldn't get half my
Absolutely.
steps in for sure. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. All right, peace.